Well, we've known for quite a few years that we really needed a system to help manage all of our maintenance and inventory of parts in all the plants.
We definitely needed something that was flexible enough for our diverse plants that we have, large enough and powerful enough to handle the size and scope of some of these operations.
And we came up with MVP as being the one that did really show that it would work the best for us.
Plant MVP very much demonstrated they had the flexibility and the power to handle our diverse operations, but what stood them out a little bit more was their user interface and the ease of entering data in a variety of different options.
It's a computerized maintenance management system. So it's an all-inclusive system. That it's not just a PM software, it includes everything.
Before MVP, everything was done handwritten on work orders, the old style work orders we used to have.
We had a paper-based system, so every work order was strictly on a piece of paper. If that sheet of paper was lost, we would lose traceability.
And everybody wrote down what they did at the end of the day, and you passed it on to the next crew by those little notes. If you didn't write them down or you didn't get to look at them, yeah, it just got lost.
We didn't have a real good record-keeping system of them or accountability of them, as far as if you looked for past work orders or past breakdowns to get the history of them, it wasn't very easy to do.
Before it would just be like on the fly, something would break and we have to fix it. And this gives us a chance to go out and have a way to plan for it, not run to failure, and say, here's what we got to do, here's when we got to do it.
We can't entirely eliminate downtime, but we're going to reduce it to the point where there's very little.
It definitely helps plan downtime. When we plan for a down day, we use MVP to plan all of our work orders for all the tasks that we want to complete during our downtime period.
It takes time for a system like this to really show its possibilities. But we've seen some reduction in downtime, and we're developing a history. That's the most important thing. As these things break down, we look at how we can prevent them. So when something breaks down any given day, we'll get together and we'll talk about it and decide how we could prevent this through preventative maintenance. So if we can take measures and change a cylinder before it fails, or change a proximity sensor before it fails, you do that, then you don't suffer the downtime.
I can pull it up, I can pull up work order history, so I can go back and look for certain breakdowns. Well, how many times has that thing broke down, and what do we do to fix it, and what's the length of time between breakdowns, and do we have to update our PM programs on them?
So this equipment history is just, once you have it, you won't be able to understand how you ever lived without it. It's right at your fingertips. You can look up why this equipment broke down last year, what you had to do to repair it, how often it's breaking down, who's working on it, how long it's taking them to work on it. It's just a complete history.
On the quality end, I see a lot of our customers really embrace the MVP software, mostly because one, it helps us at the Richland Center plant communicate and much more efficiently the answers to the questions that the auditors are looking for.
In customer audits, they expect us to have something similar to what they have. I mean, almost everybody in the industry now has a computerized maintenance management system of one sort or another. So they expect to see that type of information, that electronic data, the history, and everything else that a system like this can do. I guess the beginning is getting all the equipment in there, all the asset IDs. We have to capture all that, the repairable spares, like your pumps, motors, and valves, we capture all that.
Uploading individual equipment and all the valves and tooling and instrumentation that's attached to those pieces of equipment.
Then we start creating tasks, all your maintenance tasks for every piece of equipment. And all this has to be put in the system in a way that it will work. I mean, you have to generate the frequencies, you have to put the instruction sets in that tie to the PMs. My maintenance guys are using all their iPads, and they're doing a great job. They're listing a lot more of their work orders than they ever did before when we used to use a spiral bound notebook. And there I was lucky to get maybe 3 or 4 items listed per day, and now we can get anywhere from 5 to 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of work orders per day.
All the spare parts for those assets go into the database, get their own part ID, get their own description and part type, and then obviously the cost and reorder point with that.
I know starting out people are a little intimidated by this because it is change and it's all new and it's something they've never had to do before. And some people want to know why they have to do it now, but this is kind of a tool in obtaining operational excellence. I mean, we have to do this to move forward, to continue to improve. And it will make their job easier in the long run. And I think some of the people here at Richland Center are starting to see that now, that they are getting more done than they ever did before.
When I worked in maintenance 15 to 20 years ago, we didn't have a tool like this, and we did a lot of things by using maybe calendars and spreadsheets, and the inventory was just done by, well, I better go see if I've got some of these. There really wasn't anything tracked very well. And so we did miss a lot of things. We did have parts that weren't available when we needed them.
So we don't view Plant MVP as a piece of maintenance software. It is much more than that. Plant MVP is a powerful tool for plants to leverage to enhance their continuous improvement initiatives across safety, quality, service, value, and teamwork. Perhaps more importantly, Plant MVP will also assist in sustaining those improvements that they're putting in place. And it is that combination that will help advance operational excellence throughout all of Foremost Farms.